Welcome back, everybody. This is the training module for active listening for the Gold Mining Skill Building Circle. And I have with me here today Andy Vick and Sayed Alves, where we will talk about the don'ts or bad practices around active listening and things to avoid when trying to be a good listener. So, Andy, would you like to tell us more about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, the tenets are be silent, echo, and then ask for clarity, ask for meaning, with the whole idea of genuinely curious, and it's about someone else's process. So in that, there's 11 things that we have looked at. There are things to avoid. Okay, so I'm going to go over them right now. Number one is asking why. This will put people back into their heads, out of the process that's within them, and getting into the feeling of it and getting more into the rational, the mental, the back into their heads. Number two is giving advice, allowing someone to go through their process and find the answers within themselves is the whole idea. Everyone's answer, my answers are all within me. So giving advice then takes someone out of their own process and finding their own answers within. Sharing what this is, you know, you're telling a story about, yeah, you know, my dad and I were like this, and then someone's like, oh yeah, my dad and I are. What that does is immediately take it away from someone else's share and makes it about you. So doing the sharing, again, allowing someone to share all of theirs without interruption. Negating is, oh, that's it, that's all that happened. Again, everything is relative to how it affects someone. So negating is taking away from where that person is. And the whole point is allowing someone to walk through their own process and where they are. Projecting. Projecting is putting a judgment onto somebody. You know, someone says, oh, I'm so stupid. Instead of saying, oh, okay, so you feel stupid, it's, oh, well, you're really mean to yourself, right? Putting something onto somebody. Allow people to be where they are. Judging is another way where it's taking it away. It's throwing judgment on someone. Someone can feel judged, and that will also cause someone to shut down and stop sharing. Rescuing is another way to help someone not be in their feeling or where they are. You know, someone says, I hate my looks. Well, no, I think you look great. Allowing someone to sit with that and be able to process deeper into that is the whole point, is allowing someone to truly hear that voice that's coming through versus, oh no, you're okay, I rescue you. Diagnosing is very close to judging, is close to projecting. Basically telling or thinking, oh, this is what's wrong with you, this is what happened to you when you were a kid. That does not allow someone to go deeper in the process. Again, fixing. You can't fix anybody that's within themselves. So trying to fix it for them. Oh, let me. Okay, so you have this issue going on with you and your wife. Well, let me talk to your wife for you. That's not going to fix anything. And in fact, that's band-aiding. Consoling during processing. Consoling is, again, this is okay if you're doing a regression for someone and a child part is coming up. There's a consoling of the child and a care. But consoling during processing, someone's in their feelings, put your hand on them. Oh, it's okay, it's okay. It's, again, rescuing. It will take them out of where they are, and it's okay to be in that process, to be in that emotion, to be in that feeling. Telling and teaching. The whole idea is to help someone get closer to themselves and their feeling, not to tell them or teach them what to do, but for them to find their way there and to be part of their process and to get out of the way of, oh man, I know how I teach you something. It's about the person learning from themselves, not to be taught, right? The facilitator is there to guide, not to teach, but to guide the answers that are within us all. And those are the 11 things. Now, I invite Shirin and Syed. Let's all look at these, and I'll share an example here of how this has come up for yourself, whether it's what you've done or when it gets done to you. So I'll share. Asking why. So my name is Andy, and now it's and I, but before it was and why, and I changed that over. But I used to always ask, oh, why? Why? Well, it's a huge thing I used to always do. Also, I was a big rescuer. I would always be like, oh no, it's okay. No, you're beautiful. And really try to buffer someone from feeling pain, because it really reflected in me, because like it hurt me to see it. So really, who was I rescuing? I was pretty much rescuing myself, instead of allowing someone to be where they are. So those are the ones that were big for me, is why and rescuing. Things that have been done that I really recognize is telling and teaching. I know when I'm going into my thing and someone starts teaching me and telling me, I've felt it in myself where I'm just like, cool, I'm out. Like I just absolutely shut down. If someone diagnoses me, I will also shut down. It does not allow me to continue, simply because I personally don't like to be labeled ever. I like to be free to be what I am, where I am, when I am. And those two things I find I'd rather explore with someone, explore my feelings and whatever comes up for them in that too. I like to be open to, but being diagnosed or being taught are things that I find myself I shut down on. Shirin, do you have any that you've connected to on that list?
Kind of want to say all of them, because as you were going through the list, I'm checking a mental box in my head. It's like, yep, done that, done that, 10 out of 11. I'm like, oh, it's not a scoring competition. That's bad. But the ones that really strongly stand out to me are fixing and rescuing. And I think it is a lot of it goes back to my training as an engineer, or even my educational background. It's like, already, if I see a problem, I got to solve it. I have to, if I'm doing math or there's something broken, I need to fix it. And I think I project that outside of my work in my interpersonal relationships as well, where if my friends tell me something, my mind instantly wants to go to, okay, how can we fix this? This sounds like a problem. But I have learned to take pause and pull back on those reins and just be there and listen. It's like, okay, you're telling this to me for a reason. What I have learned to do recently is ask my friends. It's like, hey, would you like me to listen, or would you like me to solve this for you? And again, 99% of the times they just say, oh, I just want to vent. And I said, okay, beautiful. So I will just sit here and listen and not do these 11 things that I want to do so badly. But yeah, and vice versa, I think now that I'm saying it out loud, when I go to my friends with problems, I am going from a place of, hey, I'm trying to solve this, but I'm stumped. Can you help me? And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, I do it to other people. Other people may also work the same way, because, it's like, treat other people like the way I want to be treated. So there I'm projecting, which is also something I shouldn't be doing according to this list. Is when I'm in problem, I want people to offer me advice. So if somebody else is in problem, they might want the same thing from me. Let me go ahead and give that to them. But I've learned that that's not how the world works. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, thank you for bringing attention to this. Thank you, Andy.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And Syed, how about yourself?
I'll start by the one that I absolutely hate when it happens to me. So asking why, especially if there are 3 whys in a row. Why? And I feel like I'm interrogated. Also giving advice when I'm actually like, yeah, I want to vent, or I want to, I think all of the 11.
Right.
I don't like when they are done to me. And then maybe the ones that I don't like the most is that when people minimize or negate what I'm saying. I think the other way around, which is like what I do in the active listening, or what I find myself doing. I think I get triggered when someone shares their story. I get triggered to share my story too. And I'm working it up in my mind, waiting for the other person to finish his story and then sharing by my own story. I think judging or projecting, and I think that sometimes I don't pronounce it, but I know that I'm listening, but I'm judging at the same time. So that's that. The other one is also diagnosing. I think I do a lot of diagnosing in my own brain without telling it out loud. Used to fix problems, but I try to hold my horses and just as I learn to just let people fix their own problems. So that's it for me.
Okay, beautiful. And I do want to bring up some things that what you said was really key, is that, when you want to share your own story, all of a sudden that story's in there. And what happens is, instead of being present and actively listening to what the person's saying, you're waiting to respond. So I know I don't hear someone if I'm just waiting for my turn to talk versus exploring and hearing where they are. So I really love that point. The other thing I really want to talk about is, now that we've kind of gone over what we've done and stuff like that, it's so key to understand how we hear our own voices and our own feelings inside. And how often when something comes up, we negate ourselves, we judge ourselves. Instead of being able to truly hear what is happening, we're like, no, that's ridiculous. I'm going to put a pin in that, right? Or I've done that to myself. Or I can't believe I'm thinking this way. No, it's okay. I'm okay. I've done these things instead of hearing my voice, receiving the gift that it is of what's coming in. So many times the things to avoid, once you get really good at this, and once I've gotten really good at this, I have been able to hear when I'm doing it to myself and be able to adjust to be there for myself and really hear what I have to say from inside.
Interesting. But isn't it the other way around, Andy?
How do you mean?
Like sometimes I say, if I want to love others, I need to love myself first, and
Correct.
Then flow. If I want to experiment with something, I need to do it to myself first, and then. So I'm just curious if I learn to avoid this with myself and be conscious of it, I would be better the other way around with others.
100%. And the deeper that you can do in any kind of healing work, I believe, the deeper you love yourself, accept yourself, hear yourself, that ability is almost tenfold how you can do that outwardly. It has to begin inside. Once I make the choice to truly hear myself, it gives me the ability to hear you.
I love the tying point between the 2 points that you made, Andy, about it starts from within, it starts from me first. And if I get good at listening to myself, it will amplify outwards and help me be a better listener to others. I love it. Well, excellent. Thank you, Andy, and thank you, Syed, for sharing that. And Andy, thank you for sharing that wonderful list. It's very interesting and eye-opening to go through that and make a mental note of, oh, this is what I have been doing, or things that I don't like when they're done to me. Thank you both for sharing that. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us today and for sticking with us and learning about the don'ts of active listening. I hope you all learned something new. The link to the document or to the full list is in the description of this video. Go ahead and check that out. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you, Andy and Syed.